it's my duty, right, to go in and have the veteran come back home.
The duty of so many men and women we honor today.
I joined because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a change.
We celebrate their service and sacrifice.
We have troops who are deploying, and they're always in my heart.
We present to you Veterans' Voices, honoring those who serve.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington.
And I'm Courtney Courtwright. Welcome to Veterans Voices. For the next 30 minutes, you'll see stories paying tribute to our veterans around the country. We begin here in the East, recognizing our Marine Corps veterans.
9 on your side's Claire Curry shares the stories of 3 female service members and how they've paved the way for others just like them.
Whatever I can do to serve my community, because our service doesn't stop when we take our uniform off. It continues.
I wanted to be a Marine since the 2nd grade, and I wasn't going to let nobody stop me.
I have no regrets about joining the Marine Corps. I'm very grateful.
Wendy Silvera, Raquel Painter, and Yolanda Mayo all began serving in the 1980s and 90s.
When I retired, there were only 23 female sergeants major in the whole Marine Corps. Only 23 of us.
The biggest growing population in the VFW is women veterans, so I'm one of many.
In 2016, all 3 retired, but their service didn't stop there. They all continue to support other service members with their work.
The VFW is heavily involved in legislation to help us get our rights taken care of, whether it's Agent Orange, burn pits, Camp Lejeune water.
And for Painter, she wanted to make sure everyone was celebrated for their service.
One of the projects that I took up since retirement was establishing the Onslow Veterans Powwow. Native Americans sacrificed their culture while serving their country, so I wanted to bring the culture here to Camp Lejeune.
And continuing to work on base.
My job gives me a unique opportunity to still serve Marines and their families. There is no other job right now that I would rather be doing.
All 3 have received Outstanding Combat Female Veteran of North Carolina awards for their dedication to honor our country in and out of service.
I was able to make a difference in how people see female Marines and what a difference that females can make.
For Veteran Voices, I'm Claire Curry.
From 1942 to 1949, nearly 20,000 African Americans served in the Marine Corps, the majority of them coming through Jacksonville. Our Cheyenne Pagan takes us to a celebration honoring those veterans.
Trailblazers. That's what you could call them.
When I came in the Marine Corps, as you know, the Marine Corps was completely segregated.
Retired Gunnery Sergeant F.M. Hooper Jr. joined during World War II. It's been over 70 years, and he still remembers the day he stepped off the bus at Mumford Point.
When I raised my right hand and said, "I do," I thought I was being shipped to Paris Island. I didn't realize it.
A lot has changed since then. It's now named Camp Johnson, and the mess hall is now a museum. During the ceremony, tribute was paid to Hooper along with his fellow brothers, both living and passed on. And families also received Congressional Gold Medals for the services by their loved ones.
It's just been unreal, you know, and I get so upset because he's not here. You know, as my sister would say, he's looking down, but I'd rather have him sitting next to me.
The celebration had the Marine Corps Silent Drill Team and distinguished speakers like the Secretary of the Navy.
It's just a great honor to be here today on this solemn day and to pay them tribute for the sacrifices that they made throughout the years and the example that they set for thousands upon thousands of others who followed in their footsteps.
When all is said and done, Hooper wants to give this advice to new and future Marines.
The Marine Corps is a togetherness organization. Everybody's a Marine. No black Marines, no white Marines, no yellow Marines. We're all Marines. Hoorah.
Still ahead on Veterans Voices, how one veteran is battling ALS, but it's not stopping him from continuing to help others.
I'm hoping that everything works as well as it has for other participants here. I'm taking some steps with any luck.
Plus, we're showing you new technology that's helping veterans walk into their future.
Presenting Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve. Air Force veteran Dr. Janelle Royster developed TRIP, the Trauma Recovery Intervention Protocol, which helps veterans and first responders cope with trauma through a new process. She's now working with a nonprofit to spread TRIP across the country.
And as veterans help out others all across the country, some like right here struggle to go to the gym and keep a healthy lifestyle after years in service. But he met Logan, a Maine veteran who knew he wanted to do something to help his fellow veterans. So he opened a gym called Boots to Health. Along with helping veterans and first responders, it all partners with local recruiting offices to train new enlistees. Logan is working with Ray together as a team to help him reach his goals.
Since Ray has a neck injury and he has some rods in his back, you got to be more careful with the exercise we do.
Being veterans, that's something we hold to dearly, accountability, responsibility.
Boots to Health also helps with mental health needs.
Adapt and overcome. It's part of the Marine Corps slogan, and a Marine veteran in Chesapeake, Virginia is taking those words to heart. Retired Major Chris Mulholland has a debilitating disease that he refuses to let stand in his way. Chris Horn shows us this man's remarkable spirit for helping others.
He can't speak, but he can get the word out.
My brain and soul are still intact in this husk of my body.
He can't walk, but he can lead the charge. This Marine has retired but not retreated. He used to run marathons and at age 60 was still bench pressing 300 pounds. And then 2 years ago, at age 62,
I was still lifting weights and noticed I was having more difficulty than I should have.
The diagnosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. Over the years, modern medicine has taken many swings at a cure, but has yet to connect.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
We know it better as Lou Gehrig's disease, but now it's also Chris Mulholland's disease.
I immediately began reading about ALS and was stunned to read that veterans are twice as likely to contract it than civilians.
He had 20 years with the Corps, including tours in Lebanon right after the barracks bombing, as well as Iraq. But now Mulholland began to gear up for a new mission. Writing articles in Military Times, citing research on the prevalence of ALS among post-9/11 deployed veterans, more than 3 times the rate in the civilian population. In the meantime, he refuses to let the ravages of ALS define him. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
The person I was, I still am, so I will continue this fight till my dying breath.
The Department of Veterans Affairs considers ALS to be a presumptive condition, meaning it was caused by military service and qualifies for health benefits. Once a veteran gets a diagnosis, life expectancy runs from 2 to 5 years on average. An estimated 5,000 veterans are living with ALS. The ALS Society says the actual link between military service and ALS has yet to be determined and remains a focus of research.
This is Luke Sprott. He's paralyzed from the waist down. In 2009, he suffered a spinal cord injury while stationed at Fort Bragg. He's been in a wheelchair ever since, but now there's some hope that could change that. Doctors at McGuire VA Medical Center in Richmond, Virginia are working with him using an exoskeleton. It propels him to walk based on his body's rhythm. Essentially, the suit does the work for him, but a clinical trial is aiming to help him walk on his own without the help. He goes through what's called epidural stimulation and spinal cord mapping.
It was relatively non-invasive. We were up and going by the same day.
The big things that we noticed that just really few weeks after implantation, their leg muscles comes back as normal, surprisingly, without even doing any type of exercise other than just turning on the stimulator.
It's potentially a major breakthrough for some 45,000 veterans living with spinal cord injuries.
Coming up on Veterans Voices, we'll take you to Beaufort County. Veterans there are passing along their knowledge to local students through a JROTC program.
And from the Marines to our nation's capital, meet the man who's protecting our democracy with help from a furry assistant.
Presenting Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve. Coast Guard veteran Joe Wester found his savior in a four-legged friend. After entering the Canines for Warriors program, he was paired with Betsy. And from work to play and everything in between, this duo is inseparable.
And canines are always great companions, and they're also great additions for police forces. That brings us to our next story.
A U.S. Marine Corps veteran continues to serve his country at the very heart of our democracy. Sean Haynes now patrols the U.S. Capitol grounds with a special four-legged partner.
Anna Wernicke reports today from our nation's capital.
He is my partner. His name is Lord.
Former U.S. Marine Sean Haynes joined the Capitol Police Force 33 years ago. Lord is his fifth four-legged partner.
My third dog, his name was Hawk. He was a Dutch Shepherd. He was single-purpose, explosive detection. My fourth dog was a black Labrador Retriever named Will, single purpose, and now I have Lord.
Haynes teamed up with Lord in 2018. They are one of 56 canine crews that patrol and protect the grounds of the U.S. Capitol and the lawmakers inside.
The canine unit is a select team within the U.S. Capitol Police Department. Each dog is paired with a technician, and together they go through an extensive training program before they report here to the Capitol.
It's the best job on the department.
Haynes is one of the longest serving technicians in the canine unit, a role he says the Marines prepared him for.
I'm very disciplined. I'm never late for work. I'm always an hour early, every day since I've been here.
In 2019, Haynes and his partner were honored by the department for finding and catching a suspect accused of killing a 15-year-old boy. But his most unforgettable moment as an officer happened 21 years ago. On September 11th, Haynes and his partner Fanto were on duty when three hijacked planes crashed into the Twin Towers and Pentagon.
A couple of canine teams were sent out to the Pentagon to provide explosive detection capabilities during the recovery effort at the Pentagon. So I get a little teared up about this sometimes, because I saw a lot. So. Yeah.
Haynes says he's not sure when he will retire, but he knows that when he does, Lord will retire too. For Veterans Voices, I'm Anna Wernicke.
When we honor our veterans, we think a lot about what they've given to our country. But what about the knowledge they're passing on to today's students? On your sides, Aaron Jenkins takes a look inside a local JROTC program to see how two veterans are inspiring the next generation.
I will work hard to improve my mind, strength of my body. I will seek the mental leadership and stay prepared to hold.
I decided that I wanted to try it because why not?
They have taught me discipline, integrity, how to respect others, how to better yourself, make you a better human being.
Training to become better human beings is happening for hundreds of students in the JROTC program at Washington High School. And it's all starting with two veterans.
Come on, Smallwood.
I appreciate what I'm doing and getting an opportunity to be something to these kids.
Colonel Jorge Bocanegra and First Sergeant Robert Bennett say they both learned from mentors first.
My mentor in high school was a veteran, and he pushed me very similar to the way I'm pushing these kids.
Are you motivated? Motivated, motivated, motivated.
Now they're teaching the Cadet Corps military training.
All the basic skills, the marching skills, any cadet that goes through basic training will have to go through that.
Ready?
I am looking at future soldier, seaman, airman, Marine.
Because some students at Washington High School plan to follow in their footsteps.
I actually plan on joining and going active in the military as the U.S. Army.
Also for students who have other plans.
I want to be a lawyer, so I want to get into a law school.
For me, there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a young lady come back here, stand in front of my students and go, hey, I'm a lawyer now. And I have other kids that, hey, I joined the Army.
Let's go! Don't you stop! No!
Here I am. Look at me now. It's great. Nice to have at least one little bit in that.
At the end of each school day, they're proud to have served their country for many years, but also proud
Great job, everybody.
to be motivating future generations of American heroes.
You just see them build the relationships of that family unit, and that's how you build the program up to where it's at today, and it just makes me proud.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Erin Jenkins.
And still ahead, how one local organization is making sure current service members have a Christmas they can remember.
Presenting Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve. The nonprofit organization She's the Veteran provides female vets with resources and activities to improve mental health. Along with monthly group outings, the sisterhood is making positive memories and teaching new skills.
As organizations help those who have served, others are aiming to support those who currently serve. That includes one local nonprofit here in Pitt County. They know the holiday season can be hard for those in the military and their families. So I caught up with volunteers at the nonprofit as they're helping to spread cheer, one care package at a time.
On the outside, it looks like your basic strip mall. But there's plenty of hustle and bustle inside one of the units. This is where the magic happens for Ayden, North Carolina-based NC Packs for Patriots.
We call this the southern branch of the North Pole.
That's because they're packing with a purpose.
We are preparing Christmas for troops who are away from their families and friends and homes for Christmas. So we try to send a little touch and taste of the holidays to our troops who are serving away.
Barbara Whitehead started NC Packs for Patriots back in 2004.
People don't realize you're standing within a 2-hour drive of the largest bases for all 5 branches of the military.
The nonprofit first collects donations from businesses, churches, and individuals from across eastern North Carolina. Then volunteers pack those donations to send to service members around the world.
From the time that I've been overseas myself, to have these care packages come in, it makes it a little bit easier to be away from family, especially during the holidays.
And what makes NC Packs for Patriots even more remarkable is that everything you see in this facility is donated, and that includes what goes into the care packages, like the toiletries or maybe some snacks for the troops. But the most important donation is monetary. They need money to pay for the postage to send out these care packages.
Our Christmas packages alone probably will be about $8,000, and that's just a 1-month, 4-week period.
And people are donating their time, too. Volunteers like Judy Dobler.
Even a small group of 2 people make a difference. We've been coming to NC Packs to help for about the last 8 years.
Besides supporting the troops, there's another reason Judy says she keeps coming back, and that's Barbara.
She's just one of a kind. We said she should write a book with what she's been doing because it's so meaningful to so many people.
Still making a difference nearly 2 decades later.
Just thank you so much.
The mission continues, so it's not just about Christmas in here, because we have troops who are deploying, and they're always in my heart.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Ken Watlington in Ayden, North Carolina.
NC Packs for Patriots is always in need of donations for troops, and they are always looking for postage to send the care packages. If you're interested in helping, connect with Barbara on Facebook. Just search NC Packs for Patriots.
And we thank you so much for joining us on this Veterans Voices special, honoring those who serve.
We here at WNCT say thank you to all those who have served and are currently serving our great nation.
To see these stories and many more stories about our veterans, just head over to WNCT.com. Find Veterans Voices under the Features tab. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.